Hey guys, it's Escally. I just wanted to make a quick video, sort of doing a little bit of a deck profile on my Demise Ruin deck. I recently was able to get to Platinum. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know. I actually did pretty well with this deck, a little bit better than what I was expecting. And I just kind of wanted to run down the deck profile just to show you guys real quick. Um, Hopefully this video won't be too long. I've tried making this before and it ended up being way longer than what I was hoping for. But anyway, this is the deck profile. As you can see, it's a fairly simple deck. The extra deck right here doesn't really matter. I just kind of like threw in some cards that I was getting for the extra deck, just random miscellaneous cards. None of this really matters. The only card that probably matters is Gustav Max, which is a ultra rare XZ monster. If I could find it, oh, here it is. This is probably the only card that if you want to play something in the extra deck, this is probably the only card that you would play. Basically, it helps facilitate an OTK. Going second if you could only get Demise, Supreme Queen, and Ruin Supreme King onto the field. And you overlay both of those, you summon this guy out, and it's a burn for 2000. So that's one way you could go ahead and OTK your opponent. But real quick though, this deck is mostly made to OTK your opponent. You do want to go second. Everything is built to facilitate the OTK. There isn't anything in here that's really meant to do anything else. You can go more than 2 turns with this deck. It isn't necessarily a glass cannon, although it has been described as such. Effectively what you want to do is get Demise onto the field and get Ruin onto the field, but you want to summon Ruin using a ritual monster to fulfill the full tribute, so either using Demise Supreme King of Armageddon and Crealtor. Crealtor is a level 10 Incantation monster. That's pretty much the only reason why he's here. If you want to go ahead and get Crealtor out, you could go ahead and replace him with a Cyber Angel card. You could replace him with Varish, but Varish is an ultra rare, so I haven't really put her in here. I haven't put Gustav Max in here either, because Gustav Max is an ultra rare. And if I put any more ultra rares here in here, it gets a little bit expensive. But Varish is a level 10, and Varish just has a nice effect where if she's ritual summoned onto the field, she gets to destroy all ritual summoned. She gets to destroy all extra deck monsters that were special summoned. And she gets to inflict 1000 damage for each one that is destroyed through this effect. And then she gets to attack twice, which is effectively the same effect that Ruin gets when Ruin is special summoned onto the field, using a ritual monster as the full tribute. And so both Ruin and Demise kind of get effects if they're ritual summoned using a ritual monster. So Demise, if you use a ritual monster to get him out completely, he doesn't have to pay life points to activate his effect, and then Ruin, she just gets to attack twice. Their other effects are Demise protects from being destroyed by battle, and then Ruin protects from being destroyed by card effect, which is pretty neat. We have a fairly standard incantation engine here, and then as far as like extra, I guess like tech maybe, not really tech, but just kind of like removal stuff. We have a Gamma Seal, which is nice, just gets rid of opponent's monsters, and then an Ash Blossom, though I'm considering dropping the Ash Blossom for maybe something like a Called by the Grave. I think a Called by the Grave is something I would probably prefer in here other than an Ash Blossom, just because a Called by the Grave allows me to in theory, a Called by the Grave would allow me to continue with my plays uninterrupted, as opposed to an Ash Blossom, which is more about me interrupting my opponent. I think that ritual decks are one of the difficult things about rituals is just trying to get a level of consistency up, and sometimes it's difficult if you have to play through a number of negates or hand traps. And so having something like Called by the Grave, which allows you to play through hand traps, I think, in my opinion, would be a little bit more preferable to playing something like Ash Blossom. But that's effectively the deck profile. Like I said, it's fairly simple. I think it's honestly a little bit cheap. I mean, you are going to have to get 3 ultra rares of each Demise and Ruin, which is a little bit unfortunate that they made these ultra rares, but I suppose I could understand. I suppose they are powerful cards. One neat thing real quick, I guess before I go, is there's a nice interaction that you could use between Incantation Chalice Slime and Incantation Inception. And so what you're going to be doing is, let's say you have a situation where you have Chalice Slime in your hand and you have Inception in your hand. There's a nice little loop where you could loop Inception And so what you do is you activate Chalice Slime's effect to discard one incantation card in your hand, and you discard Incantation Inception, sending Incantation Inception to the graveyard, allowing you to ritual summon, I'm sorry, not ritual summon, but special summon out an incantation monster from your deck onto the field. You use that incantation monster's effect to either get from the graveyard or from your deck, and then once Incantation Inception is in the graveyard, you activate Incantation Inception's effect when it's in the graveyard to send one incantation monster either from your field or from your hand or one incantation card from your field or hand to the graveyard, and then you get to special summon out an incantation monster from the deck, allowing you to get something from either the graveyard or the deck, and then you get Incantation Inception back into your hand. It's a nice little loop that you could do. It pretty much gets you like 2 incantation monsters out into the field, along with whatever it is that you want to get from the deck or from the graveyard. So you're getting 2 more into the hand, and then you're basically getting back Incantation Inception into your hand, effectively all for the cost of an Incantation Chalice Slime. So it's really a nice interaction that you can loop back and forth there. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, really nothing else really matters here with the extra deck except for Gustav Max. If I ever do get a Gustav Max in here, maybe one day. It's just an ultra rare right now, so it's not something I'm really like too worried about getting. It would help facilitate the OTA, because you are sometimes, like when you're playing, you do have situations where, for whatever reason, you can't get Ruin out onto the field using a whole ritual ritual monster for the complete summon. So sometimes like you get Ruin out and she isn't you didn't use a ritual monster for her whole ritual summon, so she doesn't get her additional effect where she gets to attack twice. But you might be able to get Demise out as well, and so you get 2 level 10s out. And then in those situations, if you're able to clear the board, you activate Demise's effect, attack once with Ruin, attack once with Demise, and then you overlay XYZ, of course, for Gustav Max, and then burn, go to main phase 2, and then burn for 2k, and then that's game. But again, the main OTK here is effectively just to go ahead and ritual summon out Demise, King of Armageddon, ritual summon out Ruin, Supreme Queen of Oblivion, using a ritual monster for the full tribute, which allows you to attack twice with Ruin. You activate Demise's effect. Demise's effect isn't once per turn, which is really great because it means you could activate it once. If the opponent has any sort of like recursion that allows them to get monsters from the graveyard and special summon them onto the field, you could blow it up again and blow it up one more time if needed, clearing the board, and then going in for a nice swing once for 24 and then swinging twice for 29, which is really that's OTK, that's game right there. So that's the goal of this deck. Again, it's a pretty fun deck. It's pretty simple. It's a really nice deck. Again, I would probably take out the Ash Blossom, probably remove it for Called by the Grave if I ever craft one, which I will and I should soon. But yeah, again, that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a fun deck to play. It's a fun deck to really mess around with. It's something that I don't think too many people see coming sometimes. But yeah, it did get me to Platinum, which is nice. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to build this deck, you know, I highly recommend it. It's a fun deck. And if anybody has any comments or suggestions for any cards that should be added or removed, please let me know. I would love any sort of like feedback that could be given to make this deck better or just to improve anything. I appreciate it. And any comments or discussions, of course. So I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.